Welcome back my YouTube friends. So for tomorrow I need to make a line drawing, and that is for Realism tattoo. And if there is anything you want to find out how I create stencils for Realism tattoos, and you could apply the same technique on different styles, so watch this video. And if you've never been on this channel before, my name is Ziggy. I'm a tattoo artist. I tattoo for 9 years and I make loads of different videos what I do daily, basically from drawing to planning to all sorts, really. Like, I don't even have a list what I do, but I have all here. And now this video is going to be how I specifically make a line drawing. So I'm going to film my iPad and you're going to see how I edit them, how I create layers, what I do with the videos, and yeah, basically this video is going to be me making my line drawing for tomorrow, and let's start to watch that. But first, we need to find the photo he sent me. I asked my clients to send me reference photos to one email, and that is the best what could be, because once they send you through Instagram, multiple emails or messages, WhatsApp or wherever, when it comes to the day when you need to tattoo them, it's gonna be a headache to find where that image is. But if you direct them to one specific email, they're all gonna be there and it's gonna be that easy to find them. Plus, if they send you on Instagram, they have different usernames, which means it's gonna be really hard to track them, to find them, and it's gonna be a struggle to do the line work, and you will end up emailing them to send you over a reference photo, because it's really hard to find somebody on Instagram because the usernames they use are crazy and you will never find them. So all to one box. That's the best advice I can give you. So I managed to find the photo. What I use is I use Procreate to make my line work. Then what I have is here the selection tool, and there you can create your own or pick the ones you have. I've created my own. From here I have 4000 by 4000 pixels. There's 390 dpi dots per inch or something like that. That is my size. Then I would go here, a canvas, blank. There's a little key. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little key, press the key, add, insert photo, pick the one, and so that is that. What we need to do now is I need to find a male who sits down here. So this is going to be his family photo. So I need to make that a little bit smaller. And now I need to go out in the wild and find the reference photo for the male what's going to sit in this position. So I believe I found the one. So the same, we add, insert photo, that should go somewhere there. I'm gonna turn them both into black and grey in a second, because we don't really need the color. It's gonna be black and grey too. I would get rid of like whatever I don't need. That's literally one of the first things I do, just get rid of like whatever you don't need. One, I don't need to look at it. Second, it just makes life easier. Plus I need to fit this next to the little lion cub. So it would be better if I get rid of the excess. Once that's gone, he'll sit right next to that little guy. Damn. Or I could even make that little guy in front of it. So I'm gonna move this layer on top of that layer. Now this one's sitting in front of it, and if I get on this layer and I clean off as close as I can, still keeping all the details, and maybe I'm gonna turn this lion other way around so they both looking inwards. Now they all look sideways. This is gonna go inside arm, this is gonna be outer arm, which means this will be looking at the wrong direction. So I will grab selection tool, wrong layer, lion, selection tool, flip other way around, and now he's looking that way. I just didn't like the fact that both of those legs looked identical. Now they are, I don't even know what's the word for it. But yeah, now I would probably drop the merge down. Now that became one layer. Now I will get the saturation down. That's pretty much it. Now, because this is gonna go on A4, meaning this is 4000 by 4000. A4 is way too small. I would probably make a bit smaller, around there. Then I like to, I don't know why, but I like to get rid of like whatever I don't need, and those sides is something I don't need. And now this is that layer. Now I would desaturate this one, just a fraction, so you can still see this, the whole thing, but it would be like 80% maybe. Then I will grab a new layer that will go on top of it, and on this one I could draw my black lines just like that. So once you make, this is what I do. Some people draw with red, some people go with different colors. I like to do black, because I like when the printer, when I print out, he knows I've done with the black, because it's being registered here with black. So when you save the image will be registered as done with the black, and when you print out, it should go with the black. If you go from red and then you desaturate, I don't even know what code it gives, but if that's not pure black, then there could be a struggle afterwards, basically. I like to desaturate. Another thing why I do that is it saved me a lot of times. Imagine I desaturated now, and now at this moment I don't even know on which layer am I. Do you know? So sometimes when, let's say, if you draw on the same layer, let's say we go on red, and accidentally you are on the same layer where you have your image, and you don't even notice, you just draw, you're really enjoying your time. Imagine you finish the whole thing and then you realize that is the same layer, and you did all that for nothing. So that is the reason why I desaturate, because then if I go with the black, I can see it's not really that black. You know what I mean? It's maybe, I don't know what camera sees, but you see it's more grey. And then if I go on this layer, it's black. You can see the difference now, innit? So you will notice that you're in the wrong layer really early on, and you won't be doing the whole thing, and then you realize that you only have like, I don't know, you've done the whole thing and then you're in the wrong layer. You have to do the whole thing again. So that's one thing I do. That's something I like to do. So when you click on it, you know exactly. Sometimes you get multiple layers, loads of them, and then you have no idea what's what. You don't know where is that little dot, and you can't delete on which layer. So I sometimes like to name them so I know exactly where I'm at. We are in the real lines, so that's gonna be my stencil. Then of course you pick a pen. For the pen, I like to go with technical pen. I used to use a lot of studio pen, but then I discovered the technical pen is quite cool. I like it, it's nice. And then if you click on it, it gives you all sorts of like, I don't know what's the name for it, settings. The only one I really use is Streamline. It basically corrects your arm, so if you make a wobble, it makes it nice. If you take that off, and then it could be more wobbly-ish, depending on like how good you are with lining. And then when you turn that off, Streamline, it allows you to do whatever. Yeah, so you can do whatever like you wanna. But when you turn that on, it will correct it for you, which means you won't be able to do whatever. It allows you to do only clean and precise. It's like AI on your hand. If you wanna make a circle, you just hold. I don't know if it's gonna work here, but it will recorrect you. So that's the only one I use, Streamline. Sometimes when I need to like color in quickly, then I turn that off. If I sometimes what I do is I use spacing. It makes into dot work. Basically, it's just dot work. You can do dots in a row. Basically, by law, every line is continuous dot next to dot. So when it comes to tattooing, that's what really it is. When you have dot next to dot next to dot next to dot, when you got loads of them, it creates a line. It creates a line work. You know what I mean? By dot by dot by dot. Every hit is every dot. Let's say that. So I do use that sometimes when I need to mark out the shadow lines. Sometimes I like to, let's say this area, let's say if I make the spacing a bit smaller. So this line is just a shadow. It's not a physical line, it's nothing sharp. Like this area is quite sharp. So I like to create line work. But for this area, for example, there isn't physical lines, there's just like a shadows. So sometimes I like to just mark those with the dots. So when the stencil is printed out, I know the dotted areas are just the shadow areas, and line work is where you would use your liner and your line. Sometimes, not always, but that's just in case. And this time we're not going to use that. We're going to turn that spacing on. Streamline I like to use generally around 60%, 59, somewhere there, average basically. And then it corrects your lines, but it's not bothering you so much, because sometimes when it wants to be too clean, it becomes really annoying. And so that's why it allows you to go left and right, clean or not clean. And we are on real lines. Always make sure you're in the right layer. Like I said, it's dead annoying if you get the whole thing done and then you realize you're in the wrong one. And you pretty much just follow every shadow. Remember, this is going to be printed on A4 or maybe a little bit bigger, which means you need to be careful of what line size you draw. Like here I have line sizes, I can make it bigger or smaller. And if you draw with too small lines, like you want to be really precise and you do all these little dots and that, by the time it's printed on A4 and run through a stencil machine, there's no chance the stencil machine is going to see that. Literally, the stencil machine won't see, so you won't be able to make those small lines. And if you do the whole thing with small lines, you will need to redo the stencil again. The stencil machine is not capable of seeing and burning into those small lines. So you need to be careful to not to go too small. Yeah, so I kind of keep in the middle and a little bit lower. Here you can see there will be the middle. I use somewhere here, maybe it says percentage, I don't know, 13-14%. I like to keep it here. I don't press too hard on the screen, so just about that. And then literally just follow whatever you see. It's easy as that. That's mostly what I use, daily basis. And don't be afraid to like wiggle your screen, zoom in when you need it. I like to zoom in a lot, I don't know why, but I just like to zoom in. I know some people, they can do a lot of stencils from like distance, from like this area. I physically don't like it. I like to zoom in, I like to see more, I like to see up closer, and that's it. With stuff like this, always make sure you tell yourself in. So basically what could happen is you let's say you want to show that this area finishes here, and some people have done when they like done this, you would understand, you know it finishes there. But what I like to do personally is I like to tell myself what direction every hair goes. So I pick all these, like you can see those little darker areas here and there. So I just mark them. So I tell myself tomorrow I'll be happy that I told myself that this is that direction it goes. Yeah. So even if you wouldn't see the line drawing, you know it goes that way. Or if you just do this, it's quite hard to guess now what happens here, what not. And even if you have reference photos in front of you, it's way nicer when you tell yourself what is going on, like what's happening. I know some people don't like it, some people don't do it, nothing against that, whatever fits them. But in this video I'm showing what I do, and this is exactly what I do. I tell myself in what direction, let's say, this would go. Just so I know, when tomorrow I'm gonna pick the shading needle in my hands, I can keep in an angle where I can shade in this direction. And once you shade the whole thing in that direction, it looks really nice. It looks like you actually wanted the hair to flow with the body shape, and it doesn't look just like shaded area, but you tried and you made it look like realism, like it's supposed to be. I like to do a lot lines in my stencils. I know a lot of people skip them, a lot of people just don't do them. They keep it basic, keep it simple. Fair enough. I'm just not that guy. I like to keep it busy. I like to keep it crazy busy, basically. I make stencils to a level where even if you would take away my reference photo in front of me, I would know exactly what's what. I know exactly what that hair is, where it came from, which direction it goes. You know what I mean? Like, I make sure I tell myself tomorrow, this is a language basically. You tell yourself, your future you, tomorrow's you, next week's you. You know what I mean? You're gonna be telling yourself what to do on the body. And why wouldn't you use a language that it's really, really easy to understand? The more you make yourself to think, the less you concentrate on what you're doing, because you think what you need to do and how it's gonna be and where it's gonna be. And quite a lot is going on in people's heads mostly, and it could be more relaxed. You can just go for it. You can just chill. You know what I mean? Like, no need to like put yourself in a position where you need to wonder what you need to do, or this is a language to your future you. You tell yourself what needs to be done, where it needs to go, and then tomorrow you just do. For those people who follow me on Instagram, you must see in some of my stencils previously. Not always I do what I do on my Instagram. My Instagram is built anything except realism. But realism pieces I do because a lot of people know I can do. And for that reason, a lot of people still ask me. And then the friends see that I've tattooed them with realism, they want a realism. But when I post realism on my Instagram, it never get any love, any support. And so I realized on my Instagram, people don't want that. So I just didn't give them. I took realism away from my Instagram, and I post Instagram on Studio's Instagram, where I work. Studio 1, Derby. So that's where realism goes. That's where this is gonna be probably tomorrow if I get it all done. And you can see other realism pieces I've done before, even yesterday, and no, not today, but yesterday. So yeah, I'm probably gonna make a timelapse video now, because I don't think you wanna just see me doing lines. But this is pretty much what I do. Make sure you follow the fair. I think that's how you say fair. These areas, make them detailed. Don't just, I don't know. I think that like the more you simplify, the more you're gonna be wondering tomorrow what is going on. I like to literally see that you would know exactly where the black goes, because I just pulled a line where the black goes, and there's no thinking involved. So probably I'm gonna make a quick timelapse video. You can see how I fly through. And if you do have any further questions, just drop a comment below, and then I can answer them on them there, or message me on Instagram, or my email. You can find me on Instagram, and then on Instagram you can find my email if you need my email, and then we can see there. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. And in any area, sometimes I do get bored of one area and I just jump to another one. I don't force myself to be in one area just to get it done, because progress is progress, and I don't get frustrated. Simple as that. You just follow whatever you see. See, this is that area like where I said I would just dot it, because now I know these lines are physical lines. It separates something. But then if I create a line here, tomorrow I'll be wondering, what is that? You know what I mean? It's really hard for you even now to see like what was what, and what this line means, what this line means, what this line means. And it's quite hard. But if I, let's say if I take inking technical space to like 60%, and this area maybe smaller dots. No, I need bigger dots but closer gaps, so it means I need to go a little bit. 57, let's say. What's that? That's cool. Now I still need closer together. 49, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, way better. And now you know these are physical lines, because it will kind of separate item, body part, different objects. And you know that this is a shading line, so you can grab a shader tomorrow and just fill that in, because you know that is a shading area. It was a lot easier to think about, a lot easier to recognize, and you don't need to like wonder what is going on, what that's supposed to be. So let's go back, space down. First align the whole thing where I'm gonna have lines like this, where it physically separates. And only when I'm finished with this, then I go and I mark the shading areas with dotted ones. If I do use, I feel like it's quite easy image. I don't think I'm gonna use any dots for tomorrow. Mostly I do when it's like really complicated, then it's a lot easier to explain what is going on. But with this I can do that. Another thing what I've done is, I used to see how these lines are straight. I used to make that kind of lines, and that was again a language for myself, that I knew that is a shading area. Can you see? Yeah, so I know exactly that this would be shaded in. That is a clean, I know exactly what that is. And this wiggle one, it would be the shading till that, and I would just shade in. Same here, I can just wiggle, and I know this would be the shading area from that clean one to that. It's literally creating a language for yourself and making your life a lot easier, which means you can produce a lot more in that short time. You can make bigger pieces in a shorter time. You can work it faster. You can get a better photo. It just develops like a lot more. But again, this might not work on you. This might not work on your friend. It works only when you accept it, let's say that. My work colleague, he just literally makes like line like that, and that would be it, and just that's it. He leaves it. To be honest, like that's pretty much what I need. But he would just get like the face dead, basic dead, just nothing there, and then he would add as he goes. I just don't like to think about anything when I said so. I just want to have the needle down and just crack on. The less I need to look on anywhere else, the more I can do, and more I can focus what really matters. Basically, I can tattoo. That's what I'm there for. So yeah, I'm gonna make a quick time-lapse video when I make the whole stencil done. Maybe I'll have something to say afterwards, I'll tell you. But so far, that will be the process all the way through from 0 to 100. So, see you on the other side. once I finish, when I think I'm finished, I go over and double check like if I haven't missed anything, like I don't know, small areas like this. It could be anywhere you could like miss that easy, because when it gets so busy it's hard to keep track, and it's really easy to miss a placement where it might be important tomorrow or whenever you use it to. So I like to finish and then I like to just go over. Mostly when I desaturated, I do that again, get even lighter, because we went from here to lighter, and then sometimes you have to like play around a little bit more just to see, maybe you can find new areas where you can, I don't know, re-add more stuff to it. Like the areas where became so light that you didn't even notice it was there. When you put a saturation higher or lower, now you do notice them. Like this area, I didn't even notice it, and I like, you change the color from that to that. Every time when I finish, I go and I recheck everything, just in case I had to be safe and sound tomorrow. So for now, I reckon this is quite good. I think that's as far as I need to go. Like even now, you can understand everything, what's going on. Basically, it's dead readable, really easy to understand, and it'll be quite straightforward for me tomorrow to go for it. I did add some grass in there because I didn't want to finish like in the middle of the nowhere. So I'm probably gonna grab a shading needle and just shade some grass in there. We're gonna do some background someday, sometime, but I don't know what we're gonna do, so I didn't do anything down here. Yeah, that's how I do line work. And now from there, I don't know if you can see that little key again, then I just share if I would be in studio, and then I export in JPEG, and I would just print, and it would just open A4 and just straight out. Or sometimes I do JPEG and then I just save image, just in case if I might need in the future. Sometimes you don't need in the future, sometimes you do need, sometimes you can't get the whole thing done in one go, and I'm worried that I might delete some of this by accident. So if I save image in the gallery, and it'll go up in a cloud, so in the future if I need to find something, I know it's in the cloud and I cannot lose the stencil or reference photo or design or anything. That's how I do. If you got any questions or anything you want to ask, or you want me to explain a little bit more, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll just gonna get back to you on the comments. And I have a list of the stuff what people have asked me to do, and then I go through and I'm gonna try to incorporate that into whatever, and if there will be one of those suggestions matching to the video I'm just about to do, then I will incorporate and we'll make a video for it. But I can show you something. These are the latest designs I've been working on. I haven't filmed it because it takes ages to design, which means it's gonna be a long time to film, a long time to edit, and I don't really have any time. And basically what I do is, when I wake up in the morning, I draw for a bit, for a tiny bit, 1 hour, 40 minutes, half an hour. So just quickly, these are the designs I've been working on. Big massive peonies, a big dragon there, goes up to the side. So from there to about there, that's one. I've done this as well. I don't know if the people who follow me on Instagram, they probably have seen it. But this is geometric, ornamental maybe, I don't know. So yeah, pretty massive design for leg. That's there. What else I've done? A chest piece. Again, people who follow me on Instagram, they probably have seen it. Big massive chrysanthemum flower, I think that's how you say it. 2 snakes and 3 swords on the chest. Then I did play around with this one. I haven't posted anywhere, but I just think it's quite cool. Maybe someday I'm gonna do it. Then I've done this Japanese mask with also chrysanthemum in there. Loads of details in it. Then what else I've done? Yeah, I put that on the body just to see how it looks like, and it's easier to post and for people to understand. This was the first design I did when I bought this iPad. Pretty cool, man. And on this one I just played with symmetry just to see how it looks when one big design is being done twice on both sides, and it covers quite a lot of the front, and I think it looks pretty badass. And that's about it. This is how I do stencils from the start. to finish. I'm pretty sure from this video you could take at least few tips, few little insights in an average tattoo artist's life. And I don't know when I'm gonna be dropping my next video, but it'll be sometime soon because I wanna go more heavy onto it. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you learned something new, and like always, do some art, yeah, do some good art, and watch my videos, yeah, that helps you and me. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you learn, and see you soon.